Sixth graders, lesson 2.1 is about numbers with decimal points. DEC will be the short way of writing decimal. And chapter 2 is, we're going to be working a lot with numbers with decimal points in them. Okay? So, in this first lesson, we're going to review some of the place values that are to the right of the decimal point. When you're writing a number, or when you're reading a number that has a decimal point in it. So, let's start with numbers that we're familiar with. Hundreds, or we know that that's 10 to the second power. And tens, which is 10 to the first power. And ones, which is 10 to the 0 power. And then there's a decimal point. And the decimal point shows us that all of the numbers to the right are less than 1. They refer to numbers that are less than 1. And they're broken down into these places. The tenths place, which is written as 10 to the negative first power, or 0.1. The hundredths place, or 10 to the negative second power, or 0.01. The thousands place, 10 to the negative third power, or 0.001. Or the 10,000ths place, which is 10 to the negative fourth power, and the 1 is 4 places behind the decimal point. Do you see the pattern that's happening? The exponent is a negative exponent, and that refers to the numbers that are behind the decimal point, the numbers that are to the right of the decimal point. And the 1 is always in the place indicated by the exponent. So the negative third power has a 1 in the third place behind the decimal point. What comes to the right of the 10,000th place? What's the next place after the 10,000th place? Well, what's the next place after the 10,000s place? Kaden?
100,000.
100,000. So this is the TH at the end. Kaden?
100,000.
100,000ths. And then what? What's the next value, or the next group after 100,000, and then apply that to the thousandths? Aiden?
Millions.
Millions, yes. And then 10 millionths, and then 100 millionths, and then billions, 10 billionths, 100 billionths, and so on, and so on, and so on. And it mirrors the other numbers, doesn't it? It mirrors the powers of 10 that are to the left of the decimal place. Now, when you're reading numbers with decimals, with decimal points, you read them very similar to the way that we read whole numbers. 45, but we say the word "and" when you get to the decimal point. So the decimal point, we say the word "and" whenever we come to the decimal point. So this is 45 and then you read the number 328, or whatever the number is, and then say the digit of the last place. The fourth place is called the 10,000ths place, so you read it as 328 10,000ths. Wherever the last whole number digit, or non-zero digit, I should say, wherever the last non-zero digit ends, so any numbers 1 through 9 are non-zero digits, and the last place is the place that you say. Okay?
Are we supposed to take notes from?
No, this should be a review of decimals for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is all review. You've been studying numbers with decimal points probably since 4th grade. And so we're reviewing how the place values go, and we're reviewing how to read numbers with decimal points. And let's go to your assignment and look at what you're going to be doing for today. On your worksheet. So this review is for you. The place values. If we were going to write this in expanded form, we would write this as 4 plus 0.1 plus 0.09. Right?
Yeah.
And the first one we would read as 4, so the word 4. Then we would put the word in and, because that refers to the decimal point. 4 and, then read the numbers behind. 19. And say the place of the last digit. What place is the 9 in? Jacob?
Hundreds.
The hundreds place. So you write the word hundreds. Four and 19 hundredths. Krista?
I didn't get one.
Oh, okay. How would you read the next number? Number 2, Danny.
Wait, how do we say it first?
How do we say it first?
26 and 43,000.
Good. 26 plus 0.02 plus 0.003. And then it's 20, oops, the words. What goes in between the 20 and the 6? The 20 and the 6 has something in between. Andrew?
Holy.
It's called a hyphen.
Hyphen.
It's a hyphen. And it's because it's a 2-digit number. 26 and 20 hyphen 3, and it's thousands, correct. Let's talk about how these numbers are valued. 1 and 8/10 versus 1 and 8/100. Do we compare these the same way we compared other numbers?
Yes.
Yeah, the process is the same. Start on the left, because the digits on the left are the greatest place values. They both have a 1 in the ones place, but 1 and 8/10 has an 8 in the tens place compared to a 0 in the tens place. And therefore, 1 and 8/10 is greater. Okay? The greater than sign points which direction? Points to the greater numbers on a number line. Okay? The less than sign points to the lesser numbers. The smaller numbers on the number line. Okay?
Sounds like this is too critical to borrow one of your students for a while.
Oh, you can have me.
No, I think we finished our review. We've covered all of the concepts for decimals.
They need someone, just one person who could lend me a hand. You
Okay. Krista?